Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Why Seam Wednesday. And today we have a viewer request for Castle Wall. Yes, Castle Wall. Yes, we know it's a lot of Y seams in there, but guys, if you've been sewing along with me, you're ready for this block on the Y Seam Wednesdays. If you've been making the blocks and you're mastering your Y seams, this one is for you today. So you're going to find the PDFs for the templates, because I made templates for this one, in the show notes below, or the see more button, or the description of the video. So usually you look down and you click on that see more and you open up the whole thing, and that'll tell you all of the things I'm going to talk to you about today, right? First off is the Chaos Sew Along is coming. Now, we haven't sat down and started filming it yet, so I can't even tell you what day, but once we start posting videos, because we're scheduling out, right? Like, we schedule out quite a ways. So once we start posting videos for that day, we will add it into those show notes. So it's going to be a fun sew along. The subunits are 4.5 inches square, or 4.5 by 8.5. So it's a good size, and it's a really good scrap buster, because you could throw any color at it. It's fine. It'll work. It'll work great. Also, you'll find in the show notes I speak for free to quilting groups and quilting guilds, and I talk about elements of design, using scrap fabrics, and making charity quilts. So if your group or guild is looking for somebody to speak on those topics, this is where, please put my name forward. I'll try my best to accommodate you in my calendar, and we'll just make this happen. Also, we have a Facebook group that's warm and welcoming. It's growing so quickly. Wow. And we have a lot of fun in there. There's so many different community chats that you can join. We do fabric swaps by country. We look for free patterns. We also do a virtual sewing room in Discord. And it's so much fun. It's just so much fun. The people that are in there are just having a blast, and they're making new friends, and finding people with common interests. So it's really a good group. We also have Zoom sew dates from now until the end of December. I haven't looked at 2025 yet, but I will. I promise you. I will look, and we'll start posting those dates in there as well. As soon as I look, we go back and we add those dates in, so you'll be able to look at them when I do look. Shout outs, please share, like, and subscribe our channel as well. We're trying our best here to get as much free patterns out to you and all this other things that we possibly can, and help the guilds out too with ideas on how to manage their scraps, or what free patterns, because we usually come up with simple stuff and we come up with hard stuff. Today's a hard one, but there's anything that you can do for us right now, that would be a share, like, and subscribe us. So I think that's it. Oh, we forgot our shout out. Oh, we forgot our shout out. Natalie, the Ginger Quilter, is having so much fun over on her channel, guys. You gotta go check her out. You gotta go check her out. And tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. She doesn't know this is coming, of course. Nobody knows when we're gonna do a shout out, but you guys gotta go check her out. If you like what you see, hit her subscribe button as well. Okay, I think we're done. Come on in, let's get to the sewing. Okay, so I made all my templates, I did all my cuts. The squares here are not square, they're a rectangle. And it is 2.5 by 2.75. And the 2.75 inch side gets sewn onto the octagon. So that's kind of a trick that, some people, oh, it's just a square. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not a square. Anyway, so what we're going to do here is, I have this castle wall laid out. I'm first going to stabilize my castle, the center, the octagon. So I'm going to sew on from the 2.75 edge onto the bias edge of the octagon. Right? I mean, that kind of gets you going in the right mode, right? So that's kind of important to learn. And I'm also going to take these, I'm going to start running these through too, because they're they need to go on as well. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to take another piece of this and do the other side, and I'm going to press them out. And, oh yeah, this way. Oops, this way. There's quite a few wide seams in here, by the way, just in case. And I'm going to press that one. Oh, I'm not going to press it that way. I'm going to press them open. Press open. There we go. Now I'm just going to leave that one. I'm going to hop to this one, because eventually I will get all of them sewn. Okay. Alright. Wait, I should probably press this open too, come to think of it, because I don't know which side I'm going to be sewing from. I haven't decided yet, so I'm just going to press these open. Now remember that the side you're working with on the octagon is the bias, right? So that, you know, be gentle when you're pulling, you know, like you're doing your little seams and all this. Make sure that it's, you know, looks okay. Doesn't get all stretched out of shape. There we go. There. And again, I'm going to press open. There. Line that up. That purple cloth, I didn't realize this purple cloth is almost the same color as the flannel. I didn't realize that until I was like, oh, that's going to be hard for you guys to see that there's a little purple diamond there. But anyway, there is. There is. It's just camouflaged. Okay, and take this, pull that out, go across the long way. There we go. Run it through. Okay. Open. Yeah, this is these are blocks that I was doing them one at a time, essentially, and I was quite taken with the fact that they're, you know, they're just so, they're such a lovely block. And I started hand sewing them, and I was like, okay, I can do this by hand sewing. It's, you know, it'd be a cool little project. But there's a lot of Y seams in here, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, we have done Y seams before. This shouldn't be a problem. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting the other side on, just like that. Okay. And press them open. There. Okay. Press this one open. There we go. Boy, I couldn't try for harder. I couldn't have tried for a better color match on that purple if I'd have tried. It's almost, oh, there's invisible little bits there. Okay, there we go. And now the last one. Yeah. Okay. Oops, oops, oops. Now. Okay. Let's get a couple of these sewn together. Here we go. I'll get this all off at once. Okay, now. Once you have these pieces, they're going to go and they're going to get sewn on first, right? You have, it's kind of like a two-layered, this is kind of like a two-layered Y seam, right? Because you have this Y seam and then you have these Y seams right behind it. And it's confusing for some people because they're just like, well, which Y seam do I tackle first? it's okay, you know, and you just, like I say, you just make this work. And I'm just going to sew all that together right away here. Just so we get the little bits and bobs all sewn together. Okay, here we go. There. Okay, and yeah, this dark green. I just loved this dark green. I was like, ooh, such a pretty green. I can't remember where I picked it up. Oh, I know. It came in one of those bundles where it's like fat eight bundle, and I was like, oh yes, that's a very pretty one. A very pretty color to have in there. There was some really lovely stuff in there as well. Okay, so let's tackle. Let's get to this now. We'll just lay all this out. I've sewn as much as I can without tackling a Y seam. So let's move on that. So again, press. I don't have to press open. I'm just going to press out. I'm just going to press out. Because there's no Y seam where I'm going to be sewing, right? So I can just move this out like so. All right. So we got as much of this done as we could. Normally too, we always attack the hardest bits first. And that, you know, that you'll see here has changed because we're attacking the easiest stuff. We're getting as much easy stuff as we can sewn before we actually go after the Y seams, which is normally not what we do. We do the harder stuff first here, but you know, you do need this to work. Okay, so let's start with this. Now I'm going to take the little piece on top and the big piece on the bottom. Just going to put that back. Okay, so I'm going to pin my piece here. Now, a 1/4 inch this way and a 1/4 inch this way. There's an intersection of that right there. And you're going to go a 1/4 inch down right there. Now that's going to be your first pinning. And you can now pin all of your pieces the same way. Right, like this. You're going to pin this way, right? And that's not going to interfere. One piece is not going to interfere with the other, right? So just pin and pin down a little further. There we go. Just like so. The next one you put here. I know this looks like a mess. All of a sudden it's like, what are you doing? I know. But it works. It does work. Okay, so I just want to make sure this is turned enough so it lines up. Bing. There we go. And lastly, this piece gets sewn or tagged here. There. Now, I love working with octagons. Half of the edges are bias, right? So you stabilize them by sewing on a piece of fabric right away, and then they usually are very compliant after that because this is a straight edge, right? Now, the other thing as well is my diamonds, you know, one side is straight edge and the other side is bias. Well, I already got half the biases already sewn, right? So anyway, so let's just pick one side and start. Okay. Let's move a little bit forward. Here we go. Now, pick this up. Okay, just like so. Now you're gonna watch, and I'm able to look straight down. If you have a clear plastic foot that'll give you a good 1/4 inch, that's the foot you should be using, right? Because that would just make this so much easier, this whole process so much easier. So now I pivot with the needle down. I pivot along, and I a quarter inch down here on this side, and I go a quarter inch down on that side, right in the seam allowance, right? Because that's where I need this to meet, and I'm going to pin it just so, just like so. Oops, where did I miss? Oh, I messed up at the back here. Hang on. And there. There we go. And there. Yeah, just take your time to line up and, you know, hand crank. There we go, right there. Perfect. Let's get this pin out. And then with the needle down, you're going to go and pivot again. Okay. And sometimes the fabric is folding on itself, and you want to make sure that doesn't happen, because you could end up sewing a ripple into your top. There we go. And there we go. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. And just a little leader ender. There we go. And I'll show you exactly what we did. There. Just like that. Boom. Now I'm going to do this again. Right? Hopefully you guys can follow along with what I'm doing. Okay. So there, all the way down to that open seam, and you just move that out of the way. Hand crank right to the needle. I've got the needle. Now I'm just going to pull this out and maneuver this just slightly, right? Because it goes into place so nice. And I'm going to sew pin a quarter inch down right in the seam, and a quarter inch down right in that seam below, making sure both seams are open, and then pin there, just like that. And oh, like magic, it just like lays flat. Yay! Okay. Now we're going to hand crank. There, right to that. Now we're going to put that one over. Okay. Now we're going to just move this over this way. Now I want to grab, oh, it just lied flat all on its own. Okay, we can do that too. It didn't need any persuasion. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. But that's okay. That's okay. It's nice that when they just kind of fall into place, they just like, oh yes, we'll do this. We'll do this for you. But you have like little tweezers to kind of get there and grab, right? Okay, so another one's done. Now, I'm going to try and do this. I wonder if I could do this from the bottom without confusing you guys. You know what? I'm just going to keep going from the top. The smaller piece should be on the top anyways. That way, you know, you don't create drag or anything like this with your sewing machine. Okay, there we go. And there. Here. Now, you pull your pin, because it's got, like, the pin is down. Again, you just maneuver this about quarter inch down and a quarter inch down right in the seam. And I cannot stress to you how important that is. That it's right in the seam allowance, or right where that seam is. Okay, and then you just maneuver just a hair here and there, and suddenly it falls into place. There it is. Okay. Well, that's so strange how all of a sudden it does that. All of a sudden it just, okay, we'll submit. We'll submit there. Okay, and now again, I'm going to just move this one out of the way the best we can, and just like so. Yeah. Oh, boy, that one just laid nice. Okay. Yeah, that it's always nice when they just go. Sometimes you'll get the right. I don't know. You hold your tongue the right way in your mouth or something. I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, it'll just so lovely. So here we go. We're just about there. We've only got one more seam left. Now I am going to cut and make a part 2, and I'm going to show you how to get these seams on, right? These ones. But you know, once you get this part done, this is not, you know, it's not dramatic, you know, kind of thing. It's not a, well, once you get the center points on, the rest usually falls pretty quickly in line. And, you know, like I say, there's 8 of these to do, just like we did here. There's only 4, but that's a lot longer. But I will show you how to do the last 2, right? And that'll speed things along. I'll be more respectful of your time than watching, because yeah, it's okay, 1/4 inch down right in the seam, 1/4 inch down right in the seam. There we go. And pin it in place, and just like magic, boom, there it is. Nice and flat. Okay, here we go. Lift that up. Okay. Hand crank to the needle so you don't, you know, all of a sudden run over your needle. That would be good. You're not hitting your a needle below, you know, a great force or great speed. You know, you're not doing that kind of thing. Okay, there. Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to cut here, and then we'll come back and show you how to put on a corner piece and a side piece, right? Because it's basically the same thing now, again and again, right? But, you know, like we just did 4, you know, and that's going to take too long, okay? So I'm going to cut, and I'll be right back to show you the last 2 bits. Okay, we're back at the sewing machine. Now you can see I've done the edge, right? And all of this edge is straight of grain. Now I'm going to show you how to do, like, the first one is this one. And we're going to, oops, we got to go this way. Sorry. You know what? I'm going to put this one on first, because I went around the block. I went around the block a certain way. So I'm just going to clip off a dog ear here. Now, I'm going to line this up. And what I did, I'm just going to put this here so I don't forget it and get this out of the way. There. So I cheated a little bit. I pushed everything towards that outer edge, right? So that is, you know, it's, and I've got the bottom under because I don't have any Y seams there, right? I have my Y seam markers here. So again, I'm just going to pin and pin my 1/4 inch in. And this is where, like, some people say, well, they use the dot method. Okay. Yeah, well, you know, once you're quilting for as many years as I have been, you know, you can do 1/4 inch in your coma, and, you know, that's, and sometimes I use washi tape. I'll have a little bit of washi tape. If I'm doing a lot of Y seams, I'll put a little bit of, you know, a 1/4 inch washi tape on my thumbnail and secure it there with just a bit of nail polish, clear nail polish. And people think that's kind of strange, but it works. It works really well, actually. So just get a leader ender off, and I pull my pin and I pivot and I grab this under there, just like so. Everything is lying kind of flat already. Yay. And I'm marking right on the seam, and a 1/4 inch. Like, this 1/4 inch is going to be 1/4 inch this way and 1/4 inch that way, right? So I hope you guys can see, you know, it's kind of where would an X be drawn if you had it intersect both of those pieces, right? So then you just pin all of this in place, and you maneuver it around a little bit, and it's just, all of a sudden it falls lovely in place. And it's like, okay, well, that's good. There we go. And you inch right up to where that pin is. You drop your piece, and lift your foot and pivot again with your needle down. Needle down pivot. Some newer machines have that needle down position. That would be so nice on these. That would just be so lovely. And there we go. Right to the end. Excuse me, I've been fighting, I don't know, a cold? Allergies? I don't know. It's kind of one of those funny weirdnesses. Okay, so there we are. Now I'm going to push everything towards that outer corner, right? All of the seams are going to go out to that outer corner. Okay, now last is this. Oops, this. And I'm going to sew it like that. There. No, I'm cheating a little bit here too. This seam was not opened, and I'm just going to finger press just the end of it open just to make sure I have good thing. And I also press that one over. Now I'm gonna just pin it real quick. 1/4 inch in right in the seam allowance. 1/4 inch down in both directions. Like I say, you get really good at these after a while, and you're just like, why was I afraid? If you have been sewing along right now, you already know how to do this. Okay? Okay, there we go. There. Now, okay, I'm going to lift my foot. My needle is down. And I'm going to pull that little piece straight around. So I get a nice straight, line. And I'm going to go 1/4 inch down in both directions. And 1/4 inch down in both directions. And pin this thing in place. Just like so. And wiggle and wiggle and wiggle. And there we go. We're perfect. Yay. No, maybe we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not. How come I can feel a little... Oh, okay. I get it. It's just a little wobble. And right up to the needle. Drop it. And there we go. Now, I'm going to go right out to this edge. And we're going to take our time, line this purple up with the dark underneath. And there we go. Right to the end. And we'll do another leader ender, and I'll show you how I did all the finger pressing, or how it's going to be pressed. Because this one gets a little more complicated, right? Okay, so now here we go. Everything is going to be pressed out towards that outer edge, right? And when everything, I've been manhandling this thing, so it's kind of a little wobbly. It'll press out nice, but pressing open when you're doing wide seams, that helps so much. There's bulk that's redistributed differently, and it's kind of a nice thing. And you can go back and just press open everything if you want, which I think would make this thing lie very flat. I'm going to try it when I give it a good press, and if it doesn't lie as flat as I was hoping it would lie, I'll let you know how I had to press it. But that's pretty much where we're at. And like I say, this looks pretty good. Let me give it a good press, and we'll see what it looks like when it's all pressed up. Okay? Okay, so here's Castle Wall, the one we've just sewn. Now this one was machine sewn, and it's lying mostly flat. I mean, it had a good iron. I probably should have hit it with more steam and more clapper. But I wanted to show you the one I did by hand. And I found this so restful and so just, it was very content. Now this is a long-term project for me for this Castle Wall by hand. And the pieces on this template were just, they snapped together, like all the fabric just hit together really quickly. And I assembled it exactly the same way that we assembled this on a sewing machine. So some of you are asking, can you take my patterns and use them for hand sewing? Of course you can. Of course you can. And with all the Y seams that are in here, because, you know, there's quite a few Y seams in this block. I mean, yeah, like Y seams with hand sewing, no problem whatsoever. I will put this block, I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in with the orphan blocks or if I'm going to put it in with my hand sewing blocks. But I wanted to show you this one. This one was, like I say, this was kind of a pretty little mashup of different colors. And basically I pulled my focal fabric in the middle, and then I pulled colors from the focal fabric to, you know, the greens and the purples and the yellows and the, you know, kind of the beigey colors. And I did exactly the same thing here, where I went with the purples, and then, oh, a nice contrast would be greens and, you know, that kind of thing. So I hope you would give this one a try, and it's, like I say, it was a lot of fun putting this one together out for you. Like I say, the templates are in the show notes below, so I hope you have an absolutely blissful week ahead, and life is treating you so well. You know, it's been a blessing for us to be part of your lives, and doing this with you, essentially, is what we're doing. So, you guys take care and stay well until we see each other again. Okay, bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, you know, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, you know, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!